Hello, one and all, and welcome to my thoughts and opinions on the Stone Cold podcast with special guest Edge and Christian. This was the podcast that aired immediately after Raw on Monday night, and I just finished watching it as of yesterday, and so I'm going to give you what I thought of the overall episode of the podcast and how it was. It's not really a review. It's just discussing what was said throughout the podcast between Austin and Edge and Christian, and if I enjoyed it. And before we get to that, I would just like to throw out a couple channel plugs. Check out Delexman's channel, one of the best YouTubers around for wrestling. Check out Generic Luchador's channel. And also, I'm a part of the Gamer Gang. We are uploading our next podcast videos on Minecraft and Halo 5, so hopefully they will be up sometime later this week. So please check out those channels. And so let's get right into it. The Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast. What can I say? I love these podcasts. I love the one with Vince, Triple H, Heyman, Paige, and now Edge and Christian. And I've really enjoyed all of these podcasts so far. And I'm looking forward to seeing who they have on next. But for this show, for this podcast, I thought it was a fun show. The questions that were asked, it wasn't too serious. It wasn't, we're going to ask the hard-hitting questions. I mean, there wasn't really much of that, but if you watch this show, it's a good hour of just Austin and Edge and Christian, talking about, Austin asked them how their lives are. Edge and Christian are both fathers or will be fathers. I believe they've had children, and they discussed where they chose to live after they got out of the business. And, Austin asked them, one of the funniest parts was when Austin was like, okay, I want you guys to play my theme song on the kazoo. And then Edge and Christian brought out a cowboy hat and a guitar, and they're like, well, we'll play your theme, but then you got to play Kumbaya on the guitar. So Edge and Christian played, da-da-da-da-da-da on the kazoos, and then Stone Cold sang Kumbaya, my lord. So, you could tell these guys were reminiscing and having a good time catching up on things. They, let's see, what else did they talk about? They talked about some of their favorite venues to perform in. They said the All-State Arena, known as the Rosemont Horizon, was a really great place. They talked about the tag team division, kind of the resurgence that's going on as of late with bringing the Dudleys back in, and they think they can bring some veteran leadership advice to the tag team division, and this can be a good thing, and how the tag team division has had its highs and lows throughout the years, and that they'd like to see some old elements brought back in, some old ring psychology, as they talked about. Austin also asked them, let's see, what else did they ask? He asked, Edge, do you think Christian deserves to go in the Hall of Fame? And Edge was like, yes, without a shadow of a doubt. So that was good to hear, and hopefully one day Christian will go into the WWE Hall of Fame. They talked about, Vince and what it meant to be around him and how he helped guide them and whatnot, and the advice that they got from him. They also talked about this one funny rib that they would play on each other. It was like something like "Don't look at me" or something like that for like 6 seconds, and that was funny. They also touched on how the 5-second pose came about, and they said playing the kazoo, how that came about, and it was really shocking that really helped elevate them to a new level in their careers. And this was just a fun show. So if you have the network, check it out. Like I said, not really any hard-hitting questions, but just a fun overall discussion between three guys that loved pro wrestling. It really was a passion, and it showed throughout this interview. Oh, and another thing that I liked, Stone Cold asked, Are you a sports entertainer, or are you a professional wrestler? And without a shadow of a doubt, both of them said professional wrestler. So that was really good to see. I hate that word sports entertainer. It sucks. It's just, bleh. That's a Vince McMahonism that needs to die a slow, painful death. But that's a side issue. So I enjoyed it. I'm not going to rate this podcast because, it's either I enjoyed it or I didn't. So that's what I'm going to say. Please go check it out. This was a quick video, just giving my thoughts on it, the podcast. So later on tonight, I will hopefully, either tonight or tomorrow, have my review for the NXT, tonight's episode of NXT. So be on the lookout for that. Also, I will be uploading, let you know what's on tap for next week. We'll have a Raw review, the NXT review, and then hopefully on Friday, the 18th, I will be uploading my predictions video for Night of Champions. And then that Sunday, on the 20th, I will hope to have a review with me and two of my other friends as special guests. So that's what's on tap for the next week for this channel. So yeah, thank you all for watching this video. If you like what you saw, please click the like button. Click that subscribe button. Thank you for all who watch my videos. And with that, I am out. Peace.